JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, 9 killed on No Movement Day. 9 murders occurred on Sunday, the first lockdown day of the week, of a period of tighter restrictions imposed by the government to arrest the surge in COVID-19 deaths and infections. There was a quadruple murder in Clarendon, during which a 19-year-old was killed. This was followed by separate attacks, which include a murder in the Kingston 8 area, another fatality in Withorn, Westmoreland, and yet another in St. Mary. The body of an elderly man, 74-year-old Oscar Jackson, a technician of Campbell Avenue in Port Antonio, Portland, was also found at his home on Sunday. Reports are that about 9:50 a.m., a relative went to visit Jackson when his decomposing body was seen inside the house. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, Jackson was seen lying on his bed with a piece of stick under his head. The scene was processed, and the body was removed to the morgue pending post-mortem. Also on Sunday, 44-year-old Arvid Matthews, a fisherman of Longwood District, Clarendon, was murdered by armed men. Reports from the police are that about 8:40 p.m., Matthews was in Shearers Heights in the parish, standing on the roadway with friends when they were approached by 2 armed men who opened fire, hitting Matthews several times. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Matthews was seen with multiple wounds. He was taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Rampaging gunmen killed at least 27 people over 72 hours on the weekend. The free movement days fared no better. 7 of the murders occurred on Saturday, while 11 killings happened on Friday, a particularly bloody 24-hour period that included 4 murders in the major shopping district of downtown Kingston. 3 arrested in connection with car theft in Manchester. The Manchester police have arrested 3 men in connection with the theft of a motor vehicle, which was found scrapped at a location in the community of Devon in northeastern Manchester. Assistant Superintendent of Police Lamar Clark said that car parts were found at the location during an operation on Monday morning. Acting on some information, we went to a location in the Devon area. A search of the premises would have revealed a lot of car parts from 2 cars and some of the parts from the cars, he said. He said when the police made checks on some documents that were found at the location, it was revealed that one of the cars had been reportedly stolen at the Spalding police station last Saturday. That vehicle was partially scrapped. All body parts were removed from that vehicle. Only the engine and transmission were left to be taken out, said Clark. The 3 men who were seen at the location were subsequently arrested. Illegal guns seized in St. Anne and St. Andrew. The police are reporting the seizure of an illegal gun in Parrytown, St. Anne. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure. The police report that on Saturday, several premises and open lots in the area were searched. They say a Glock pistol fitted with a magazine was found under a refrigerator in an open lot. The investigation continues. Over in St. Andrew, the police seized an illegal gun along with ammunition during an operation in the Hermitage community in St. Andrew on Sunday. They say cops were conducting a cordon and search operation in the area when the premises was searched and the weapon found. It was identified as a Taurus 9mm pistol with 17 9mm rounds of ammunition. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure. Investigations are ongoing. Couple arrested in alleged payroll scam at heart. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA is reporting that it has arrested and charged 3 people, including a wife and husband, for alleged fraud related to activities at the Human Employment and Resource Training National Service Training Agency, Heart NSDA Trust. According to MOCA, Michael Anthony Terrell and his wife Anna Kate Tamika Terrell were arrested at their Westphalia District St. Andrew address in the early hours of Tuesday, September 7. The 3rd person, Tasha Buckner, was arrested later the same day. The 3, along with others, have been accused of defrauding Hart of over $8 million, MOCA alleged in a news release yesterday. The MOCA release reports its public affairs officer, Detective Inspector Antoinette Morrison, has said that a total of 33 irregular payments were unearthed during an audit exercise of the payroll department at Hart for the 2018 period. These payments, which amounted to a total of $8.1 million, were processed for fake part-time employees, Morrison said. We are continuing our investigations to identify, arrest and charge others who were involved in the scheme, said Morrison. But in the meantime, the Terrells have both been charged with larceny as a servant, conspiracy to defraud and money laundering, while Buckner was charged with receiving stolen property and conspiracy to defraud. All three have been scheduled to appear in the St. Andrew Parish Court on September 24, 2021. Police inspector succumbs to COVID complications. The coronavirus yesterday claimed the life of beloved police inspector Miguel Johnson. Johnson died at the National Chest Hospital in St. Andrew, his colleague said. He was assigned to the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Special Operations Unit. Johnson is believed to be the most senior police officer to die from the respiratory ailment. He was a very jovial person, but serious about his work, one police officer recounted. Sweet relief as Gordon Town Road brand new. After 10 months, the Gordon Town Main Road in St. Andrew has been fully reopened to vehicular traffic, bringing relief to residents who hassled to travel to work and move goods and construction material to their homes. Cabinet approved a $187 million contract to fix the section of the roadway that collapsed after heavy rains associated with Hurricane Eta last November. Norman Rookwood, 73, no longer has to park his car below the breakaway and walk the remainder of the journey home. The retiree had been doing additions to his home a few minutes away from Gordon Town Square prior to the road damage. I had to stop because it costs a lot in terms of transportation. Usually the transport from the hard road carry the material straight to the site. I had to pay for transportation to the breakaway and pay again for people to move it to the building site, he recounted. That situation increased transportation costs by 20%, a hike he could not absorb for too long. This is a tremendous relief. It has been a long time and I'm happy that they were able to carry out repairs before the 1-year mark, he added. Jermaine Ferguson said that he appreciated the work that has been done, but pleaded with the National Works Agency to conduct further assessments in the area. Ferguson pointed to a section of road below Mason House Basic School that he believes need to be fixed immediately. They need to get the engineers to go down in the river to check the undermining of the road, because that sink right there was a hole there. The road is cracked and it's sinking again, Ferguson lamented. If this breaks away, it will cut off people who live in Penfield. Reflecting on the last 10 months, Ferguson said that he had to adjust it to the inconvenience of walking the distance to and from his parked vehicle, as it was not feasible to drive the alternative route through Savage Pen. A resident of Penfield, Tina Arnold, said she was pleased with the progress made since the contract was approved in February. "Me struggle with load, and sometimes we have to wait very long to get somebody to help me, or if I get a taxi. Me glad that it open now," said a 47-year-old. "We're very thankful that the road is open. Them do a very good job and we appreciate it," said Norman Martin. The 63-year-old said he's happy that the days of paying additional fare are over, especially given the impact of COVID-19 on earnings. Meanwhile, a man who gave his name only as Gauntlet could hardly wait for things to return to normal, as he'll be able to slash his expenses. "It's a joy to me. It took a lot out of me to do the extra walking. When me buy a little material for work for my house, it cost me enough to bring it up, and we're the poor class of people," he said. Another resident, Lexington Watson, said that there was a small increase in the price of goods at shops and mini-marts in the area as operators had to fork out more money for delivery. "I feel very good that the road has been fixed. Too much accident up the hill at Savage Pen, and every minute vehicle turn over. That road is very slippery, especially when it is damp, and you can't come down with no load on the truck," he recalled. Opposition calls for increased police presence in Clarendon following quadruple murder. The opposition is calling for the government to increase police presence in violence-plagued areas of Clarendon. The call followed a quadruple murder in Havana Heights in the parish shortly after midnight on Sunday. The deceased are sisters Tashana and Sharona White, their 19-year-old nephew Luke Newman, and Sharona's partner Michael Solomon, 25. Leader of the opposition and president of the People's National Party, PNP, Mark Golding and other members of the PNP joined the Member of Parliament for Southwestern Clarendon, Luthan Cousins, on a visit to the family home where the murders occurred. Golding said Jamaica is in the worst of times, citing the COVID-19 pandemic, the high cost of living, and the crime rate. He called for the police to ramp up their presence in the area.
We heard about this terribly tragic incident which took place here in Havana Heights, in Clarendon, with 4 young persons, 2 sisters and another relative. and the baby father of one of the sisters all being murdered last night, just after midnight. And so we decided to come, and because I touched base with the Member of Parliament, Lawson Cousins, and he encouraged me to come down and just show the family some solidarity and some support at this time of terrible grief and shock. The community as a whole has been going through a series of incidents, but this now has taken it to a whole different level. And coming to the house, seeing all the children, meeting the mother of the two sisters who died, seeing the small room in which they were all put on a bed and then executed, it really is shocking to the conscience. The country is going through the worst of times, between the COVID situation, which is out of control, doesn't appear to be responding to the measures that have been put in place to try and contain it. The crime situation, murders like this happening, murders up 10% year on year, and then the stresses of the cost of living situation where so many prices have been going up and people really suffering. It is really a very dismal situation. And as leaders in the country, it is important that we get on the ground and show the people that we are here with them and that we care about their plight, and just to show that we don't see ourselves as just above them, but we are with them when they go through these terrible periods of intense grief. So, we are calling on the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police, the Chief of Defence Staff of the JDF, to ensure that there is adequate security in this community, because this situation is one of a series that have taken place, but represents a serious escalation and a change to the nature of the violence that has been taking place in here. And it needs to be contained now so that the community can be freed of further trauma and further grief. We will be, of course, trying to help the family as best we can. There's a young man who has been orphaned. I just met him, a young boy, lost both his parents in this incident. Other children have lost a parent. So, we are here for them, and we will do what we can. And of course, the agents of the state that are set up to try and provide support, we will be calling on them to do what they have to do and what they are there for, to provide assistance as well.
Golding criticized the leadership of Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the government's handling of the country's crime problem. Cousins said it is unfortunate that such an act was carried out during a national curfew. It is quite unfortunate that incidents of this nature are happening when we are supposed to have increased police presence in the spaces due to the fact that there's a curfew, and the all-island curfew would have started minutes earlier, he said. This is a real tragedy, and we have to work together as a community and a country to ensure that we can sleep with our windows and doors opened in the realest sense, and that it is not a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. PNP Senator and former Minister of National Security, Peter Bunting, said he was jolted by the gruesome attack. As a former Minister of National Security, I have been to many murder scenes, but it is few that have struck me as tragic as the scenes we have here today, he said. According to Bunting, residents lamented that the police were late on the scene despite there being 2 police stations nearby. I am very disappointed that in a time when the whole country is on no movement, when the community and parish have been on curfew from 6 p.m. the previous evening, and in a community where there have been flare-ups of violence in the recent past, that there was no regular presence of the security forces that could have helped deter an incident like this, Bunting added. As of September 4, Clarendon has recorded a total of 63 murders, the same figure for the corresponding period last year. Shootings, however, have declined by 4% from 49 to 45. 594 new COVID cases, 3 additional deaths. Jamaica recorded 594 new COVID-19 cases and an additional 3 deaths on Sunday, according to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The latest data brings total coronavirus infections in Jamaica to 76,451 and the virus death toll to 1,734. The ministry reported that the new cases comprise 356 females and 238 males with ages ranging from 1 day to 96 years. There are currently 24,460 confirmed active cases. In the last 24 hours, 185 persons recovered from the virus. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 103, St. Anne, 29, St. Catherine, 101, St. Mary, 4, St. Thomas, 66, St. James, 43, Trelawney, 15, Westmoreland, 23, Manchester, 49, Hanover, 15, Clarendon, 49, St. Elizabeth, 62, and Portland, 35. The ministry said the deaths occurred between September 10 and 11. The deceased are a 28-year-old female from St. Mary, a 73-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew, and a 59-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew. Meanwhile, 753 people are presently hospitalized due to the virus, with 155 moderately ill, 117 patients severely ill, and 52 in critical condition. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.